The Wealth Team Formula, Part 1, Assembling Your Championship Financial Team. Welcome, I'm JM. No one builds lasting wealth alone, and yet so many people try. They think they can handle their money, investments, taxes, and legal matters by themselves. Or worse, they rely on a single advisor or a random web search. That's a recipe for mediocre results at best and devastating losses at worst. Here is the Part 1 video about the team you need around you. I have 30 years in real estate brokerage, fund management, and advising some of the wealthiest clients you can imagine. It has taught me one fundamental truth. Today, I'm going to share with you what I call the Wealth Team Formula, the 3 critical people you absolutely must have. This isn't your typical advice filled with fluff and vague platitudes. This is hard-earned wisdom from decades of real-world experience, managing multi-million-dollar portfolios, navigating complex tax laws, and structuring deals that create generational wealth. If you understand this formula, you will be miles ahead of 90% of the market. And if you want to take it further, I'll show you how to access my advisory services where we build these teams for you and tailor them to your unique situation. Let's start with the big picture. Why does having a team matter? Why not just pick one financial advisor, a lawyer, or a tax guy and call it a day? Here's the cold hard truth. Wealth is multidimensional. It involves investing, tax strategies, legal structures, estate planning, risk management, and even behavioral psychology. No single professional can master all of these, and relying on one person puts you at enormous risk. Imagine your tax advisor giving investment advice or your lawyer handling your portfolio. It happens all the time, and it's a disaster waiting to happen. The Wealth Team Formula is about assembling a small group of highly specialized experts. Think of it like a championship sports team. You wouldn't put a quarterback in at goalie or expect your coach to do the ref's job. Each person plays their role, and together they win. So, who are these 3 indispensable players? Number 1, the strategic financial advisor. Number 2, the tax specialist. Number 3, the wealth protection and legal architect. Let me break each down fully, including some psychological insights, real numbers, and actionable steps. First, the strategic financial advisor. This is not your average advisor who just picks stocks or sells you mutual funds. This person is a seasoned investment strategist, a portfolio architect who understands risk. They understand diversification, asset allocation, and market cycles. More importantly, this advisor understands your goals, your risk tolerance, and your entire financial ecosystem. Why is this role so critical? Because it's the engine that grows your wealth. Without a coherent strategy, investors often chase shiny objects. They jump in and out of markets and lose money to fees and bad timing. Over a 30-year career, I've seen countless portfolios devastated by emotional decisions. Let me give you a real example. One client came to me after losing nearly 30% of their portfolio in 2 years. They'd been chasing tech stocks during the boom and panic selling during the bust. We restructured their portfolio to balance growth with downside protection, diversified across sectors, and incorporated alternative investments like real estate funds and private equity. Within 5 years, their portfolio not only recovered, but grew over 80% from the bottom. That's the power of strategic advising. Psychologically, people often overestimate their financial knowledge and underestimate market complexity. They suffer from cognitive biases like overconfidence and recency bias. A skilled financial advisor acts as a behavioral coach, helping clients stay disciplined, avoid emotional pitfalls, and stick to a long-term plan. Now, let's talk numbers. Say you have $1 million invested. An average investor might earn 5% annually, compounding to $7.04 million. A strategic approach might earn 7%, growing to $14.97 million. That's more than double. The difference? Strategy, discipline, and expertise. But remember, your financial advisor is just one piece. Number 2 is the tax specialist. This role is often overlooked, but it's a massive wealth multiplier. Taxes are the single biggest drag on investment returns. The average American pays roughly 25% of their investment gains in taxes annually. Over decades, that's a huge hit. A savvy tax specialist knows how to minimize this legally. They use strategies like tax loss harvesting, asset location optimization, and retirement account structuring. Let me share a story. A high net worth client was paying over $200,000 a year in capital gains taxes. After engaging a tax strategist, we implemented a system using deferred exchanges and charitable trusts. Within 2 years, their tax bill dropped by nearly 40%. That freed up hundreds of thousands of dollars to reinvest, accelerating their wealth accumulation. The psychological dimension here is that most people don't want to think about taxes, but avoiding the topic is like leaving money on the table every year. On $1 million in investment gains over 10 years, a 25% tax rate means you pay $250,000. Drop that to 15% by smart planning and you save $100,000. That's real money. Finally, number 3. The wealth protection and legal architect. This is your estate planner, your trust attorney, and your risk manager, all rolled into one. Why is this role vital? Because building wealth is only half the battle. Protecting it from lawsuits, creditors, and family disputes is equally important. Without proper legal structures, your assets are vulnerable. I've seen clients lose millions to probate fees, family litigation, or poor estate planning. One client had a complex real estate portfolio worth over $10 million. A messy divorce threatened to decimate their holdings. We restructured ownership and created irrevocable trusts. This legal architecture preserved their wealth and ensured a smooth transfer to heirs. Psychologically, people tend to avoid legal planning because it forces them to confront mortality. Probate fees can range from 2% to 7% of an estate's value. On a $5 million estate, that's $100,000 to $350,000 lost to court costs. Proper trusts can eliminate this entirely. Also, consider the cost of lawsuits. The average lawsuit settlement can easily run into the hundreds of thousands. Asset protection shields your wealth from these risks. To recap, the Wealth Team formula is strategic financial advisor, tax specialist, and wealth protection and legal architect. Together, they form a powerhouse. But let me go deeper. There's an often overlooked dynamic that makes this team truly effective: communication and coordination. They must work together. Your advisor needs to know your tax strategies. Your tax specialist must understand your estate plan. Your legal architect needs to be aware of your investment holdings. This level of integration is rare. Most clients have siloed advisors who operate independently. That's why so many plans fail or produce suboptimal results. Here's a practical approach. Have regular quarterly meetings with your entire team. Use a central document repository or financial dashboard. This coordination alone can add 1 to 2% in annual returns or tax savings because it avoids duplication, mistakes, and missed opportunities. Now let's address a myth. But JM, I'm not wealthy enough to afford such a team. This is a myth. You don't have to be a millionaire to start building a wealth team. The key is prioritization and smart resource allocation. Many advisors offer scaled services. Tax specialists can focus on key deductions. Legal architects can start with simple wills. Think of it like healthcare. You don't wait until you're critically ill to see a doctor. You build a team of specialists early to maintain your health. The same applies financially. Another psychological barrier is trust. But remember, the right team is vetted and aligned with your goals. You are the CEO. They are your executive team. The Wealth Team formula is contrarian because it goes against the single advisor myth. Many firms want you to think you only need one person. It's convenient for them, not you. By diversifying your advisory team, you diversify your risk in advice, strategy, and execution. This approach unlocks exponential growth and peace of mind. If you want to build this team but don't know where to start, that's where my advisory services come in. I help clients identify, vet, and coordinate these experts. Whether you're an entrepreneur, investor, or someone with complex assets, we create a customized wealth team that maximizes your wealth potential. You don't have to figure this out alone or waste years making costly mistakes. Reach out and let's build your championship financial team together. Thank you for listening. Remember, lasting wealth is not about a single person or magic formula. It's about the right people working together with discipline. Follow me in the next video. It will be part 2 with more tips and details. See you there. Remember, at Be Rich Formulas, we only talk about real stories and proven formulas. If you are serious about building wealth, we will assist you. Everybody can build a system and change its life. You just have to decide it. Let's do it.